friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me. Today we are talking about some lgbtqia plus books that are on my radar, and I like to make a difference between books that are just on my radar and books that I'm actually recommending, because the books in this video I have not read yet, and if I have not read these books, how can I recommend them to you? How do I know they're even good? So I do like to make specific book recommendation videos and just videos that I'm telling you about books that I've heard about that I want to read, that I hopefully will get to eventually at some point. Yeah, anyway, this will be a pretty lengthy video, so I'm going to try to keep the intro as short as possible. If you see me looking down or looking to the side, I have my handy dandy laptop that I'm going to be referring to for synopses. I don't think I'm going to be able to give you a lot of information about these books just because there are a lot and I don't want to make this video too long. So yeah, with all that being said, let's just hop in to these books. The first book I want to talk about, I actually just got my physical copy of, but I'm not going to go get it, so we'll just pop up the little picture, and that is The Fall That Saved Us by Tamara Jarrett. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is a sapphic fantasy, and from what I am gathering, we basically have like an angel and a succubus type of romance situation. It sounds really cool. And one of the main characters also owns a bookstore. We have Greta and Valden by Rebecca K. Riley. This is a literary fiction where we are following a brother and a sister as they navigate queerness, multiracial identity, and the dramas big and small of their entangled, unconventional family, all while flailing their way to love. Hungerstone by Kat Dunn, and this is a thrillingly seductive sapphic romance for fans of A Dowry of Blood and Wayward. And this is set against the violent wilderness of the Moors and the uncontrolled appetite of the Industrial Revolution. It's a compulsive feminist reworking of Carmilla, the book that inspired Dracula, a captivating story of appetite and desire. Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh is a science fiction, and it's described as a thrillingly told queer space opera about the wreckage of war, the family you find, and who you must become when every choice is stripped from you. Next up, we have The Relationship Mechanic by Carmen Lee, and basically this book is a part of the Peach Blossom series, and if I'm not mistaken, every book in this series is sapphic, so feel free to pick anything from this series. It's a small town rom-com where we are following Jessica, who came to Peach Blossom for a visit, not a breakdown, but her rental car dies on the outskirts of town, and the mechanic Vinnie Williams provides a tow and a very welcome jumpstart to Jessica's heart. I have a bit of a throwback for you, and that is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. This is the first book in the Burning Kingdoms series, and I cannot believe that I have been back into reading for at least 4 or 5 years now, and I still haven't picked up The Jasmine Throne. Like, what is wrong with me? This is the beginning of a trilogy set in a world inspired by the history and epics of India, in which a captive princess and a maidservant in possession of forbidden magic become unlikely allies on a dark journey to save their empire from the princess's traitor brother. Next is a contemporary literary fiction-y mystery combination, The Three Lives of Kate K by Kate Fagan, and this says the seven husbands of Evelyn Hugo meets First Law Wins in this electric voice-driven debut novel about an elusive best-selling author who decides to finally confess her true identity after years of hiding from her past. The Mars House by Natasha Pooley. This is a sci-fi about an Earth refugee and a Mars politician who fake marry to save their reputations and their planet. That sounds cool. We love a fake marriage, fake dating. It's one of my favorite tropes. So, yeah. Next up is Payback's A Witch by Lana Harper. It's the first book in the Witches of Thistle Grove series. And it says chilling adventures of Sabrina meets the L word in this fresh, sizzling rom com. That's a very interesting combination as someone who has seen both of those shows. But anyway, we're following Emmy Harlow as a witch, but not a very powerful one, in part because she hasn't been home to the magical town of Thistle Grove in years. Her self imposed exile has a lot to do with the complicated family history and a desire to forge her own way in the world, and only the very tiniest bit to do with Gareth Blackmore, heir to the most powerful magical family in town, and casual breaker of hearts and destroyer of dreams. Infinity Alchemist by Kason Calendar is a YA fantasy that features Ash Woods. And for Ash Woods, practicing alchemy is a crime. Only an elite few are legally permitted to study the science of magic. So when Ash is rejected by the Lancaster Mages College, he takes a job as the school's groundkeeper instead, forced to learn alchemy in secret. Infinity Alchemist features trans, queer, and polyamorous characters of color. The Heiress, The Revelations of Anne de Burr, right, by Molly Greeley. It says it's a gorgeously written and spellbinding historical novel based on Pride and Prejudice, and it combines the knowing eye of Jane Austen with the eroticism and gothic intrigue of Sarah Waters to reimagine the life of the mysterious Anne de Burgh. It's an extraordinary tale of one woman's liberation. The Heiress reveals both the darkness and light in Austen's world with wit, sensuality, and a deeply compassionate understanding of the human heart. The Desert Heiress by Shoshana Rain is the first book in the 7-Star Empire series. It's a slow burn MMMF why choose second world fantasy with steamy scenes and a guaranteed happily ever after at the end of the series. It contains both MM and FF scenes and involves the FMC in a relationship before getting involved with her main love interest. Okay, it's a lot going on in this book, but it sounds good. Spitting Gold by Carmela Locus. I don't know. Blending gothic mystery with a captivating sapphic romance as two estranged sisters who are celebrated and fraudulent spirit mediums come back together for one last con. We have Modern Divination, which is a fantasy romance dark academia type situation. The first book in the Spells for Life and Death series by Isabel Agajanian. I tried. And it's a discovery of witches meets the Atlas Six, a dark contemporary fantasy, and it's only a duology. We love that. It's a magical, cozy fantasy with witches featuring academic rivals to lovers, found family, and yearning. Okay, we have Make Room for Love by Darcy Liao. This is a steamy, slow burn romance starring a trans woman discovering she's bi and finding her happily ever after. Starting over is hard. Falling for her gorgeous butch roommate might make it impossible. We also have a roommate situation added into this. T, a recent-ish release, The Incandescent by Emily Tesh, and this is a sapphic dark academia fantasy where we are following Dr. Walden, who is the director of magic at Chetwood Academy and one of the most powerful magicians in England. Her days consist of meetings, teaching A-level invocation to 4 talented chaotic sixth formers, more meetings, and securing the school's boundaries from demonic incursions. Walden is good at her job. No, Walden is great at her job. But demons are masters of manipulation. It's her responsibility to keep her school with its 600 students and centuries-old legacy safe. And it's possible the entity Walden most needs to keep her school safe from is herself. We have Can't Resist Her by Kiana Alexander. Two very determined women in love at odds and risking a lot on a second chance. After years away from home, Summer Graves is back in Austin, Texas to accept a new teaching position. Of all the changes to the old neighborhood, the most dispiriting one is the slated demolition of the high school her grandmother founded. There is no way she can let the developers destroy her memories and her family legacy. On the architectural team revitalizing the neighborhood, hometown girl Aiko Holt is all about progress. Then she sees Summer again. Some things never change. Neither can forget the kiss they shared at their senior year dance. Neither can back down from her unwavering beliefs about what's right for the neighborhood. For now, the only thing Summer and Aiko are willing to give into is the heat that still burns. But can two women with so much passion for what once was and what could be agree to disagree long enough to fall in love? The Tide That Binds Us by Alexis C. Manis. And this is for readers who want plus size representation, a sapphic romance, and mermaids and magic. Sign me up. And this is actually a novella. It's only about 100 pages. Next up is Yours Insatiably by Avita Weiss. This is the first book in the Hunger duet. This is an FNB romance between a succubus and a death's head hawk moth fae. I have no idea what that means, but maybe we all need to find out. Erin understands hunger with her ravenous desire to succeed. It's no surprise she hides her monstrosity from the world. Easier said than done once she sleeps with her infuriating coworker and lets her succubus secret slip. But it's a one-time thing. She's not jeopardizing her career over a night with Pie, no matter how much she can't stop thinking about it. Pie understands hunger too, being famished for something they can't have, mouth-watering at the sight of her. But Pie and Averin agree to be friends, and since fairies can't lie, he'll keep his late-night thoughts to himself. But when Pie introduces Averin to the world of monsters she's long avoided, they both have a hard time forgetting what they did together. We have Hers for the Weekend by Helena Greer. The relationship is a lie, but the sparks are real in this laugh out loud, sparkling rom-com where a no-nonsense lawyer fakes a relationship with her barista to avoid going solo to her ex-girlfriend's wedding. Whew, fake dating. Yeah. But also, why are we going to our ex's wedding? You could have just said no. Anyway, The Last Witch in Edinburgh by Marielle Thompson. This is a lush, atmospheric novel that blends witchcraft, queer love, a vibrant Edinburgh setting, and Scottish folklore for a propulsive and emotional story exploring what it means to resist the patriarchy and find your voice. And it's set in an alternate Edinburgh of 1824. So we also have that historical vibe as well. Whenever You're Ready by Rachel Runya Katz. This is about family, friendship, and the kind of first love that could last a lifetime if only you are willing to take a chance. After reconnecting on a road trip, two friends must decide if love is the ultimate risk worth taking in this funny, emotional, sapphic romance. I Think They Love You by Julian Winters. Sometimes fake dating your ex can turn into a second chance, and sometimes fake dating your way to success can mean finding the second chance at love you've needed all along. Sorcery and Small Magics by Mega Ducey. This is the first book in the Wilder Songs trilogy. Desperate to undo the curse binding them to each other, an impulsive sorcerer and his curmudgeonly rival venture deep into a magical forest in search of a counterspell, only to discover that magic might not be the only thing pulling them together. Sweet Nothings and Other Confections by Sula Sullivan. Oh, there was a lot of alliteration going on. This is a delectable twist on the Regency romance genre. Dearest reader, be prepared to enter a world where candy and love intertwine in the most delicious yet unexpected ways. Inspired by the whimsical charm of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the humor of Julie and Julia, and the romance of the cult classic Love and Basketball, this sapphic tale will have you laughing and swooning at the turn of every page. And that sounds like it's got a lot going on, but I usually enjoy books that do have a lot going on. So, you know, Down South Bayou by Erica Alexander. This is the first book in the Baton Rouge Bayou series. After some mild flirting on both of their parts, Cheyenne and Harley begin a steamy friends with benefits relationship that was meant to be just that. However, when they start catching feelings for one another, things start to get a bit complicated, from annoying exes to traumatic past experiences to unwanted surprises. Will their relationship be able to withstand the chaos, or will their worst fears of heartbreak be reinforced? And this is also a sports romance, if you can't tell by the cover. And last but certainly not least, we have Just for the Cameras by Viano Oniomo. We have a sex worker couple, Keon and Jordan, and they decide to fantasize about their hot, untouchable flatmate and best friend Luca just once, just to scratch the itch. They totally don't want anything else from Luca, not his body nor his heart. The last thing Luca expects to come home to is his two sexy flatmates and best friends getting frisky underneath their blanket on the living room sofa. And for the first time in a long time, Luca lets himself want. It was supposed to be one video for Jordan and Keon's describe subscribers. One video, no strings attached. Except now Jordan and Keon don't know how to let Luca go, not after they know how perfect he feels between them, and Luca feels like maybe he can risk getting his heart broken again if it means he gets to have Jordan and Keon forever. That's giving a little something different, and I like a little something different, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Anyway, those are all of the books that are on my radar. No, I lied. It's not all of them, but it's just like, a grouping, if you will. And so I do plan on doing another one of these videos at some point because, my TBR is never ending and I want y'all to be in this predicament with me. I don't want to be alone in this, right? So anyway, if you've read any of these books, make sure you let me know what you thought of them. And I hope that you were at least able to learn about one or two books that you have never heard of. That's always the goal for these videos. And yeah. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Anything that you do to support me and my channel, it is greatly appreciated. I hope that you have the best day that you possibly can. Remember to take care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.